completely fell apart, which I don't think is going to happen. So to me, I think they're going to finish anywhere between 2 and 4, if you ask me. So they're going to monitor that where where they're at. And let's just say this: if they're second in the Western Conference and they don't have a chance of reaching the Lakers, which I expect them not to, and it's Game 7, they'll probably play Kawhi, a regular game, and then 8. They'll go ahead and give them a break, won't let them play, and then get them ready for the playoffs. This is why you got them, and under the circumstances, I get it. No one should be upset about, definitely, no one should be upset about load management because you're not going to the game, so you can't use that excuse. But you already know 8 games max is what you're going to have where Kawhi will not be in the game. And he's going to play. He probably will play at least half of those games anyway. It's almost playoff time. He will be there. He will be ready, and you'll be able to, see Kawhi Leonard play. So, do what you need to do, Doc. Do what you need to do, Clippers. Get them ready. Get them rested. Get them whatever. I'd say the same thing with Paul George. Get them ready because I just think you're going to have to come out this gate, man, and you're going to have to set the tone with some of these teams. You do not want to play around with some of these teams in the Western Conference. Again, you do not want to run into a Houston or something like that. Speaking of the bubble that these people are under, I'm going to be real quick on this. But you got these rules as far as like for the bubble where they're talking about, hey, when you come in here, strict rules, we're going to be, testing people, their temperatures, all that good stuff, to be safe, with this COVID-19 thing that's out there. So one of the things that they have this hotline as far as like you can report people if you see someone doing something wrong. And Spencer Dinwiddie of the Brooklyn Nets, and just recently I think Rudy Gobert said something else about it as well, Spencer Dinwiddie called it the snitch hotline, and he really didn't want players using it. And Rudy Gobert referred to as using that hotline as being petty. And that hopefully, we can all just, and I'm paraphrasing what he's saying, hopefully, we can all just respect each other and not need the line and do what we were supposed to, do what we were supposed to do. Well, here's the only problem. You expect that, but we just had 2 guys, actually 3. Kelly Oubre was telling people what they could and could not do as far as like to get a meal. That ended up being wrong. You got a guy who went to go pick up the meal. He stepped over some borderline and he ended up having to be quarantined for 10 days. And then you had someone else as well who inadvertently, it's not, something that they did on purpose, either player. But what I'm getting at is that there's going to be, as much as you want to say, well, everybody, should respect everybody, there's going to be someone that says, I'm going to try and break the rules. I'm going to try and sneak something out. I'm going to try and do this. I should be able to do this. It's just a matter of fact. You got people who, for whatever, immature, young, dumb, whatever, however way you want to put it. Everybody is not going to follow the rules. And who's to say it's the players calling the hotline? Last time I checked, there are other people that work there. It is NBA folks and people who work on the property. Somebody got to be there to do something with the rooms, clean them up, change the sheets, offer towels, whatever, front desk. It's some other folks that's there. You don't think that they got eyes and ears that's sitting around there? The NBA I'm talking about. You don't think they got people sitting around purposely trying to watch and make sure guys is doing what they're supposed to be doing? Yes, they're, they know. Yes, they understand. But at the end of the day, people are still, if it's something that they want to do, they're still going to do it, or they're still going to put a risk, or they're still going to challenge whatever it is that, they may not like. I wish there wouldn't. I wish it didn't have to be a hotline in there. But last thing you want is someone doing something irresponsible, and then and Rudy Gobert should know this more than anybody. Is that last thing you want is someone doing something, not taking it serious, and then it end up being a problem. Because he did not take it serious, and it ended up being a problem for him. This man, this gentleman, is still, and this is something that a lot of people, I think, don't still understand, is that, yes, a lot of players have said, or a lot of people have said, hey, I had COVID-19. I know somebody personally. Yes, they're past it, but they are still not 100%. Rudy Gobert said the same thing. He's not 100%, able to do what he was doing before. His sense of smell is still off. So it's a thing that you don't want to have, but you got to have, because there's going to be someone there that's going to do something that they don't need to be doing. All right? So that's just what it is. And what it is, it's time to take another break. And then when we come back from the break, man, we're going to finish talking about some sports. Coach Orgeron is talking about how he sees college football. And I still got this Big L on my mind. I got to hand out this Big Loser Award to somebody because they deserve it. Who will it be? You'll find out when we come back. It's the Wait a Minute Show. We'll be back after these words.
We don't take orders from super fools. We give them.
X gon' give it to you.
Any and all resistance will crumble. Nonsense. There's never been a threat
Squad
couldn't handle. It is the purpose of the
Squad
to align our infamous forces against the powers of good and defeat them, leaving us, the rulers of the world.
We all hate when we have unexpected car problems. Well, I'm here to tell you about a viable solution. Bay 11 Auto and my man Melvin. You have emission problems? Brakes need changing? Transmission slipping? Is your car just driving sluggish? No problem is too big. I live on the other side of town and I drive over an hour to a guy that I trust. Melvin is honest, dependable, and definitely not in the business to break your pockets. Come see the
Squad
official mechanic Melvin at Bay 11 Auto. You will be glad you did. You can reach him at 1455 General Arts Road, Conyers, Georgia, or 404-295-5715. That's 404-295-5715.
Do you like making an impression? Who doesn't? Well, when you want to dress to impress for less, check out Rail Scott at Prime Ties to Go on Facebook and Instagram. Quality accessories for men and women at low, counted low prices. Everything from ties, bow ties, watches, bracelet, earrings to pocketbooks. Don't miss out. Check out Rail Scott, the owner, at Prime Ties to Go. That's Prime Ties, the number 2, Go on Facebook and Instagram.
Yo, what's good? This is Trey Frazier. This is the Barbershop Sports Talk Podcast. Make sure y'all tune into us every Tuesday night, 7 o'clock to 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time.
Squad Network, the future of radio.
He's the brain of operations.
I'm telling you right now, book it!
And him, he's along for the ride. But together, they bring you sports like you've never heard before. The Wait a Minute Show, a new way of discussing today's trending sports topics. And now, back to the show with your host, Jolani J.B. Bodie.
Indeed, Lupin. Indeed. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're back. We're going to finish talking about these sports topics so I can get to this Big L Award and hand it out, because I think Lopan agree with me. Last week we enjoyed the Big L Award. This one is a little bit different enjoyment. Indeed. Yeah. But shouts out to the people that's in the Wait a Minute Show chat room, man, like Mocha Bella Melvin. I see Pope Politicking. Kesey, I already spoke about him. Sid Galloway. Gridiron Assassin and others that's out there. And shout out to the people that's in the background listening to this show as well. And shouts out to the people that will listen to it on the future playback. So welcome people from the future to the present, if you will, listen to this show. So do not forget, last thing, Saturday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, thewaitaminuteshow.com. That's our second show that we do. So all you got to do is go to thewaitaminuteshow.com. You'll click on episodes, and then you can go and listen to all the latest shows that we've done, or actually all the shows we've done, but you can also listen to the live show at that point at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and follow us on Facebook and Twitter to get notifications, and follow the show to get notifications when we go live. Now, let's get back to talking about sports. And we're done with the NBA right now, but let's talk about, oh man, should I really go into this? Why not? We'll go ahead. We talked earlier about Washington, they're changing their name. And now they're talking about Dan Snyder not admitting being wrong. Do you really want him to, or do you think there's a need for him to admit that he was wrong? Is it gratifying? Is it, I don't know. Will it make someone sleep easier at night? And to me, I really don't need him to admit that he was wrong. Retiring the name, to me, admit that you were wrong. Because I just don't know really anyone that if they're doing something that's right, that everyone considers to be right, that they still make a change. He knew that, name was a problem. He knew it was, backed by some fugaziness on how it all started. And I'm not going to go into the whole story. You can go and, look it up yourself as far as like how they came up with the name and, how it started out, foul. So for me, him being forced to change it is just as much as, admitting wrong, because even if he came out, he could literally come out, read off a piece of paper, talk about how he was wrong or whatever everybody want him to say. He could say that and not mean any of it. Not mean one ounce of what he's saying. This right here was happening to his team, to his franchise, to his organization, to his business, says he did it wrong. Money says he did it wrong. FedEx says he did it wrong. Nike says he did it wrong. Pepsi says he did it wrong. So for me, you don't have to go out there and go out here and stand in front of us, because I wouldn't. How much I would put value into that? None at all. Because he was so adamant about not changing. He didn't have an epiphany, ladies and gentlemen. It wasn't someone spoke to him and he said, you know what? I never thought about it that way. Again, he looked at his checking and savings account and how it was about to look or possibly looking, and he made the change. He knew it all along he should have been changing that name. So him just changing it, look, he'll find out. He'll be all right. So I don't need him to admit, about being wrong. I saw this about Cam Newton. Actually, Cam Newton said he was surprised about, I guess, the Patriots came calling. They wanted him on the team. And he had been rumored that to be a landing spot for the Patriots. That kind of had died off, and then it picked up once again, especially for the deal that he signed. The Patriots were like, heck yeah, you can come here. But now there's these questions about, Can Cam be the day